All right, welcome to another episode of Gin and Truth. I'm the captain of this ship, Robert motherfucking Reed. Got a tumble full of here with some mindful thoughts. Let's go. All right, gang, let's jump into this shit. Another early morning edition of Gin and motherfucking Truth. You guys know the drill. If Uncle Bobby's not doing any sleeping, he's going to do some screaming. Gang, the meat of today's rotted sandwich, fuckface Matt Powell. Right there, your booty hole should have clenched all the way up. He just, again, it's like bragging about being the tallest midget in the parade. They're all horrible. Again, Christian apologetics only attracts the worst of us. The dude is just fucking horrible. He's an absolute bottom feeder. And I think I've done a show. I know I've done a show on this fuckface before, but now just scrolling through YouTube, and the YouTube God said, "You're going to talk about this one there, fuck nut." So here we are. Gang, he's just the fucking worst. And if you can go anywhere else, hold on. You can start by quoting my grandmother. When you lay down with dogs, your monkey ass gets up with fleas, gang, every single time. It's a scientific fact. Okay, just look it up. If you go anywhere with Matt Powell, all you have to know is that this motherfucker is sitting there jerking off the likes of Kent Hovind. Now, on top of the fact that I'm just going to flex the university snob title on this one, because in this context, I've earned it. Google image, what's going on? Google image the University of Texas at Austin. Boy, don't look tired. Get in your mind's eye what you think an establishment of higher learning should look like. UT Austin. It is enormous. It is fucking huge. The buildings are opulent. It's its own fucking city. Look up Darrell Royal Texas Memorial Stadium. It's not a football stadium. It's a fucking Roman Coliseum. This place is like the fucking Vatican minus the booty raping. Just get in your mind's eye what you think a college is supposed to look like. That's where I graduated from. Kent Hovind got a PhD from a fucking trailer. I'm not joking. Look up Patriot University, gang. It's a trailer just out on a plot of land. It's where he got his PhD. Now, I remember Science Mel, she posted, because apparently there's a database. If you got the title of PhD, we can see your fucking PhD dissertation. I said it then, I'm going to say it now. This motherfucker's dissertation started off with the words, "Hi, my name is Kent." I said it then, and I'm going to say it now. The last time I saw an academic paper starting off with "Hi, my name is," I was in the 4th grade, and I did a book report on superfudge. Superfudge. Now, Matt Powell and Kent Hovind put all 12 working brain cells they had together, and you'll never guess what they did. Apparently, they've disproven evolution. Who knew? Now, I know what you're thinking. So that's when they hopped a plane to Switzerland, right, Uncle Bobby? And they picked up their Nobel. No, because here's the thing there, gang. If you have disproven evolution, that's not life-changing information. That is world-changing information. The little bit that I know about evolution, it is a foundational pillar to not just modern science, but to literally modern medicine. Because I remember listening to a doctor give a talk online once, and I'm not even going to try to repeat what he said, but basically, you use evolution to get ahead of certain diseases. You can predict what the next evolution will be, so you'll do medicine and treatments in a prophylactic measure, hoping to catch it at a 7 before it can jump to a 10. I completely fist fuck that, but one, I'm smart enough to admit where I'm dumb, and two, that's a lot closer of an actual explanation of what evolution is than what these fuck faces think, right? But they've got world-changing information apparently, and you would think they'd be booking university lectures. Jay Bundy would take all 37 of his PhDs that he just earned last week while mopping the fucking floor, and he would trash them. And he'd sit there and be like, okay, fuckface Ken Hovind, teach me some shit, my man. No, you know what they do? They do exactly what my drunk ass does. I get on YouTube and I make videos. Dang, if you're sitting on that kind of information, you're not cutting YouTube videos. You're changing the world. But that's who he has hitched his wagon to. So that right there sets the scenario. Now, I had one personal interaction with this fuckface, and that's when me and Peter interviewed him on Gonna Go For It. Go check out his shit. It's fucking fantastic. Back on topic. Once again, I said it then, I'm going to say it now. If you guys don't know how this works, let's say you've invited someone on your channel and it's a 12 noon kickoff. Just kind of common courtesy that you show up about 15 to 20 minutes early. That way, whoever's, spinning the ones and the twos in the background, Peter, he's got time to check mics, graphics, make sure everything computer-wise, tech-wise is set and ready to go. It's during that time where you make small talk. My name's Robert. My name is Matt. And unlike apologists, at least the way me and Peter did it, you were honest. You didn't ambush these motherfuckers. So it'd be like, hey, look, this is what we're going to talk about. Peter would always say, we're going to ask you, what do you believe in and why? Right? You're like, hey, are there any questions that you want to ask us? Is there something that you don't want us to touch? Are there any boundaries? This is what you talk about while the cameras are off. Matt is being Matt, a little bit off, but it's like, okay, I don't think I'm bullshit when I tell you we probably had about 70 seconds left before Peter said, okay, we're going to go live. Matt Powell turned around and fixed his mouth and asked me and Peter, hey, are either two of you guys homos? That one came not out of left field. It wasn't even in the stadium. And we're like, oh, well, the graphics are already rolling. We start the show, and the first thing I asked this motherfucker was, Matt, do you know what a bear is? Matt's response, yeah, it's that thing that you see on National Geographic. Some of them live in the snow, some of them, yeah, they're fucking fantastic. What seems to be the brown? It's like, no, dumbass. A bear, like as in the LGBTQ plus community. You know what a bear is? He had no idea. It's like, okay, physically, Matthew, a bear is what you would expect to see if you were to cross a biker. And when I say biker, I'm not talking Lance Armstrong. I'm talking Harley Davidson biker. If you were to cross your stereotypical biker with an NFL defensive end, he probably has about a 49, 50-inch barrel-sized chest, and he's covered in a pelt of hair. If he shaves his face at 7 o'clock in the morning, by 7:15, he's got a 5 o'clock shadow. By 9:30, full beard. I'm talking Grizzly Adams style, Jack. This is the dude that when someone says he's gay, your response would be, didn't have that one on my bingo card. Didn't know. Bears are so fucking big, man. I'm about to sneeze. That was disgusting. Back on topic. Bears are so big, Matt, that even me, Robert Reed, as muscular as I am, if I'm at a table full of bears and they say, go get me a fucking drink, you know what my response would be? I'm going to look them dead in their eye and say, how many ice cubes would you like, sir? They're fucking huge. My point is, in your mind, you've got this stereotypical depiction of what you think a gay dude is. 5'8", 130, maybe, switches his butt when he walks, can't finish a sentence without saying girl or girlfriend. You need to watch who you ask that question to, because not all gay people are what you're thinking, my guy. Well, he kept going, and the thing that kind of sets him apart from these other bottom feeders, one of Matt's stances is gay people should be put to death. So me and Peter asked him about it. His answer was the equivalent of, well, the rape wasn't that bad, at least he used a condom. I'm not joking when I say that. His response is, not me. I mean, of course, the government should do it, and it should be humane, but we should kill all faggots. He wasn't joking, gang. You guys don't need me here to tell you how fucked in the head that emotional stance is. Please go fuck yourselves. And we're sitting here and we're giving this guy plenty of rope. You're like, do you really want to back down on that? Do you want to back down, fall for that statement? He wouldn't. That's what he actually believes. Then, of course, he pulled out studies. And I'm going to tell you something. The more I hear bullshit like flat earth and how gay is just inherently evil, I remember Neil deGrasse Tyson saying once, you can find a study that backs any claim you want to make. It just matters is that study legit. Oh, and he had studies that, gay people, one butt, touches one, one dick touches one man butthole, you've created AIDS and they both die. And shut the fuck up. That's not even worth talking about. My main man, Peter, didn't mean to finish the show, but Matt Powell tucked tail and ran because Matt Powell is one of these guys who thinks that the King James Bible is the only correct translation of the human Bible, of the Holy Bible. Some of you are already giggling because you know where I'm going with this. It's infallible, you do the NIV, you're sitting on some bullshit. Blah, 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 blah. And Peter's like, do you know anything about your guy, King James? Got any idea about him? Are you aware that King James he likes juggling nuts all in his mouth? He's gay, bisexual minimum. But this isn't a secret, Matt. Are you aware? You hate gays so much, but you literally spiritually jerk off to one of their books. Gang, Matt did not like that at all. Then my monkey ass, I'm over in the background giggling. It's like, oh yeah, man, he's juggling. Sir, 2 questions. 1, does this feel good? 2, are you going to tell me when you're going to come? He loves it, Matt. He did finger up the booty hole. He's working the balls and the man gravy comes out. He's fucking fantastic. Matt got mad than a motherfucker. And he was like, I don't know where you two are getting at, but I'm leaving. It's like, no, what he's getting at is that King James, people used to use his butthole for target practice, Matt. He left. He left. The fucked up thing is, other than Matt Powell, nothing what Peter said was sitting on some bullshit. You think gay people should be put to death by the government? He's a hardcore Republican, by the way. Mr. Small Government. So small, he wants to round. I mean, just go fuck yourself. But he tucked tail and ran, and we haven't talked to him since. Now, there were some minor interactions on Twitter. He doesn't remember me from a can of paint. I'm not that special. But, there were a couple times where he asked me to come on his channel. No. No. Again, gang, the best way, let's just call it the Hunt method. Dr. Matt Hunt. The best way to win at this game is not to play it. Right? At this stage, you'd like me taking my ex-wife back and then being shocked and surprised that she dogged me out a second time. If at this stage of the game, we are not aware that apologists are sitting on some bullshit, it's our fault, not theirs. But gang, that brings me to this fucked up ass video that he made. Why atheism fails the scientific test. Again, no wonder Christians, you guys win all the debates. You get to define both Christianity and atheism. Atheism does not speak to science. And no matter how hard you want to just disembowel the definition, fuck you. It's like, Robert Reed, tell us what it's like being Chinese. I'm actually not Chinese, but you need to talk to me about what it's like being Chinese. I just told you I'm not Chinese. You're Chinese and it's the exact same energy, right? Christians, you could get a hold, again, if you guys would put a fraction of this energy into proving your God is real, you could crush atheism tomorrow. But no, instead, you're going to sit here and do what it is you fuckfaces always do, and that's arrogantly assert that you know us better than we know ourselves. Go fuck yourself. But gang, the fuckface made a video on how atheism some way somehow fails a scientific test. I don't even know what to say to that. Again, that's no different than asking me to tell you what it's like being German. I'm not fucking German. Well, you need to talk to me about being German. I'm not German. Atheism is not science. And if you guys would shut the fuck up long enough, you would hear us say that. But you guys want to get frustrated with me? You guys ready? Let's roll the tape.
Either God created the world or the world created itself. Think about it. If everything was not created by an intelligent designer, that means that everything poofed into existence literally.
Pause the tape. 10 seconds in. Kitty table. At 15 minutes and 5 seconds. Fucking kitty table. How hard is it for you guys to listen to not me, but a scientist say, we don't know. We don't know. We don't know if the universe was created out of nothing or if the universe existed in some form or fact. We do not know. We don't know. But he's doing exactly what they all do. His answer is correct by default. Now, atheists, you need to work backwards from that. But again, atheism does not speak to science, doesn't speak to the beginning of the world, doesn't speak to evolution. Shut the fuck up. Roll the tape.
From nothing. That is a belief in magic and mysticism. That is sorcery. That's not science. A lot of people think that.
Pause the tape. Again, this is projection. Sorcery? You mean like when some fuckface threw a 5-foot piece of wood on the ground and it turned into a snake? When the same fuckface put that stick in a sea and the sea split in half and tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of people walked across a sea bottom? And you're accusing us of believing in magic? You mean like a timeless, spaceless, immaterial fuckface sitting on a cloud and talking to himself until a world showed up? You mean the fuckface who's really his son and he got a virgin pregnant without sticking his cosmic dick in her? And together they created a magic baby who literally cannot die? And you're accusing us of believing in Matt? Fuck me, roll the tape.
Scientific to make the claim that the world could create itself. Check out this quote from Stephen Hawking. He said that because there are laws such as gravity, the universe can and will create itself from nothing. So atheists.
Pause the tape. I've got no idea what the fuck that is. I sweat from it. Again, you want to know how to get out of an armbar? I'm your man. I've got no idea what that quote is from Stephen Hawking because I'm not as smart as Stephen Hawking. Mainly, I don't give a shit what he says. Christianity is not the default correct answer. But now he's, atheist. I pause it. Let's rewind that 10 seconds. Now he's going to try to find a way to tie atheism into the beginning of the. This motherfucker. Roll the tape.
That because there are laws such as gravity, the universe can and will create itself from nothing. So atheists really do believe that the world created itself. As wild as that may sound, as loony as it may be.
Positive. I hate this motherfucker. Gang, when your speech pattern mimics Ray Comfort, you've got zero credibility. Again, what is so hard about allowing members of the club to define the fucking club? And you're right, Christians. Some of us don't agree with each other, but it's our club. That's Ray Comfort. Are you an atheist? I'm an atheist. So you believe in this scientific impossibility that nothing created everything, because that's what an atheist believes. No, it's not. Christian apologetics only attracts the worst of us. Roll the tape.
That is what they believe. They think that that is actually based in science. But any of us who have studied the laws of thermodynamics know that matter cannot be created or destroyed. And so they claim that before the Big Bang, everything was compacted down into an infinitely dense hot point, and then that hot point somehow exploded and created time, space, and matter.
Pause the tape. Your refusal, not your inability, your refusal to go study actual science does not a counter argument make. I've got no idea what the fuck. I've heard, we started off, the universe was the size of like a pencil lead and then magic and then blase and flavonoids. And now we got Jonathan and Susan and monkeys and donkeys. And I don't know. Just like if this fuckface, if he's never taken a martial arts class, but you don't get to talk to me about how to escape an omoplata. You don't get to do that. You don't have a PhD in any of these topics, Big Bang cosmology, physics, evolution. You have hitched your wagon to Kent Hovind. You have the exact same credibility as a fucking first grader. Your ability to launch a YouTube channel, he's got dramatic music in the background, he's wearing a tie. You got a wedding ring. That means someone's letting him smash. That's what kind of bullshit is that? I don't care about your discussion about the laws of thermodynamics. I don't care. Because if you truly got Demont, you will get your monkey ass off of YouTube and go present to the scientific community. But you're not going to do that. You want to know why? Because your information is sitting on some bullshit. Roll the tape.
Like I said, that's a violation of the first law of thermodynamics. And even if the universe just poofed it.
Pause the tape. First rule of Uncle Bobby. Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. You know what it's like? He sounds like Trump. Did you guys see that fucked up ass? Someone asked Donald Trump about childcare. Gang, Donald Trump sounded exactly what you'd expect to hear out of the mouth of a sixth grader who was put up in front of the class, knowing good and goddamn well he or she did not read their book. And the teacher said, talk to us about last night's assignment. And then Dr. Frankenstein, I like pizza. Do you like mushrooms on your pizza? What kind of bullshit is that? The Houston Astros are great. And he just sat there. And Donald Trump, you could tell he had no idea what he was talking about. He had no idea. And he was like, tariffs, and then send them back, Make America great again. Child care, what the fuck is child care? Oh, I don't know. Send them back. Build that wall. Mexico's going to pay for it. And he just sat there and just prattled off bullshit. To me, that's what I'm hearing right now. I can all but guarantee my C student average intelligent ass can probably tell you he's fist fucking the laws of thermodynamics. He's got no idea what he's talking about. You want to know why? $10 says he got this information from Kent Hovind, a graduate of Patriot University. Translation, a fucking trailer park, a diploma mill. Roll the tape.
The existence via a magic act that also violates the second law of thermodynamics, because that states that everything in order tends towards disorder. Nothing in nature really tends towards organization. It always tends towards disorganization. Everything is winding down in the universe, but evolutionists would have us think that everything is winding up, that everything's getting better, that rocks evolved. They don't just believe that life evolved, they believe that rocks evolved.
Positive. I've heard the talking point that atheists believes that rocks sprouted life. Again, I got no idea what the fuck he's talking about. What I do know is that so far he has yet to touch the actual definition of atheism. This looks to be close to an 8-minute video where he has yet to, again, let's talk about football. Let's talk about football. Then you start talking to me about how to build the perfect meatloaf. Then you start talking about skyscrapers, the Atlantic Ocean, your favorite watch, your least favorite alcoholic beverage. It's like anytime you want to talk about football, I'm right here. That's what this is. If you wanted to do an actual video on atheism, it would have been real simple. It goes like this right here. You say there's a God. I say I don't believe you. See to the show. He's hitching all this bullshit on top of a very bastardized definition. Again, Christians, how many golf balls do you shove up your asshole? And if I do not let you go forward with this conversation until you talk about violating your own rectum with sporting goods, I'd be doing you the exact same solid that you guys are doing us right now. This is just sitting on some bullshit. Roll the tape.
That you had smaller rocks that somehow morphed into larger rocks. No joke, you can look it up. They think that all of this energy was compacted down and exploded and created larger pieces of rocks from this little piece of dust. It's much easier to just simply say that God created the world and that the world did not create itself. The Bible says, in the beginning, God created the heaven and the earth. And you can
pause the tape. This is where you really want to go with this. What the Bible says. 66 books of bullshit. The Bible also talks about a seven-headed beast that's going to come down and whip everyone's ass on the end of days. You actually believe that? I mean, come on, guys. This is horrible. We're not making it to do this. Roll the tape.
Choose to accept or reject that. The world did not create itself from nothing. Even NASA said this: although the Big Bang Theory is widely accepted, it will probably never be proved, consequentially leaving a number of tough and unanswered questions. Granite rock is incredible. We cannot create it. With all of our highest tech instruments, we can create diamonds, but we can't create granite. So I'm supposed to believe that a rock that cannot be created by man on purpose somehow created itself by accident. It's ridiculous.
No, pause the tape. Ridiculous is jerking off Kent Hovind with your finger all in his unwiped booty hole. Ridiculous is, again, I'm still waiting for him to talk about atheism. I sat there and I watched a video of fuckface Cliff Connectley. What a piece of shit he is. I was going to do a show on it. I was like, I just don't feel like having a stroke. Let me get focused. So he sat there and talked about the four things all atheists have to have faith in. You'll never guess what. Nothing that he said even came close to touch the actual definition of atheism. Nothing, right? But while I'm talking about that fuckface, he's sitting there and he's having a back and forth on my campus, by the way. Go fuck yourself. Get your ass off the 40 acres. And he was arguing with two Muslims. And here's the thing, gang. The Muslims were taking his ass to task. One of the dudes had read not just the Bible multiple times, he also read the Quran several times from cover to cover. And the fuckface was just knocking knowledge out of the park. And Cliff got mad than a motherfucker. And again, at the end, he went up to him and shook their hands like, look, you're not listening to me, so we're not going to get anywhere. You know what the translation is? I just said that the Bible proves that the Bible is true, and you're not accepting that. So why don't you just leave? That was Cliff Connectley's bullshit, by the way. I just had to say that because I don't give a fuck what Matt Powell says. He's not a scientist. Again, you know how I know these fuck faces are on my side? Again, for the little that I do know that evolution is a cornerstone in modern medicine. I don't know if he's got kids, but I know he's got a wife. I'm not wishing anything bad on her. But if Mrs. Matt Powell got into a horrible car accident, if Mrs. Matt Powell came down with this mysterious illness, he's not going to challenge the doctor's knowledge base. He's going to sign whatever papers they need him to sign. He's going to go to the hospital chapel and pray to a non-existent God that his wife doesn't pass away. Again, Christians, put your money where your motherfucking mouth is. Right, look, Matt Powell, that's sitting on some bullshit. We got to act right now. That car accident, her femur is sticking out of her skin. I don't have the time to sit here and give you the breakdown. But what I do know is that there's an experimental treatment that we need to inject in your wife right fucking now. Time's running, dude. Sign these motherfucking papers so I can get your wife back to you in one fucking piece. Come on, baby. Doc, are you using evolution to come to that conclusion? That's not what you do. None of you fucking apologists do that. You'll sign whatever papers you got to sign. You'll go broke trying to save your fucking family members. What you're not going to do is this bullshit. If you are truly sitting on world-changing information, go present to the scientific community. Instead, your monkey ass is cutting fucking YouTube videos. Roll the tape.
In the creation model that life started on the land, but they will say that life began in the water or in the oceans. And in this Inside Science article, they say
Well, the tape. You can go fuck himself. You guys didn't see the graphic. By the way, I think I have found I just belch. Hashtag more. First and foremost, thank you to all those that are still contributing on Patreon. And to those that withdrew your contributions, I still want to say thank you to you as well, honestly and truly. But I'm pretty sure I found a laptop that's reasonably priced that will get us off this goddamn tablet. That way you can start seeing what I'm seeing again. But again, from the bottom of my black, dark-hearted heart, thank you so much. But what you guys didn't see is that he's got, the Christian view and the evolutionist view. One of them was on the science side, dinosaurs lived 65 million years ago. You guys want to know why science has stated that? Because it's spot the fuck on correct. Over there on the Christian side, he's making the claim that dinosaurs lived actually recently. Yeah, they didn't do that. And he'll say, blood samples and they're like T-Rex bones that still had flesh on it. It was explained to me why that is going down. More importantly, I'm going to be honest with you, I don't give a fuck. I'm not a scientist. But what I do know is that I would listen to my ex-wife give a speech on marital fidelity before I listen to fucking Matt Powell or Kent Hovind talk to me about science. Roll the tape.
Hefty organic molecules may have formed within tiny droplets. So what they're trying to say is that the first molecules that eventually formed into life were coming together inside of water. But if you were to type in on the internet, how does DNA get destroyed? The very first thing that pops up is this. It says DNA is vulnerable. It breaks down in sunlight and in water. They would have us believe that the RNA world where life came from non-life was in a soup, in water. Well, water destroys biology. It destroys organ.
Okay, lost the date. And I'm going to quote the other noted historian and philosopher that used to live in my life, my mom. You make sure your own house is clean before you go and clean someone else's. Stop trying this half-hearted attempt to explain modern science. Instead, start explaining how a virgin can get pregnant. Please explain to us how a creature without vocal cords, a snake, talked. Something other than the bullshit like Cliff Connectley. Well, I just said it, the Bible said it, the Bible is true, so there's my argument. Kitty table. Fucking kitty table. Don't waste my fucking time. Again, you're sitting there. Again, he's coming off the foundation that his stance is the default answer. Now everything else is just sitting on some bullshit. Again, if that were actually true, you guys would be out there changing the world, but you're not. You're making YouTube videos. You're making YouTube videos. I don't have a lot of room to criticize, but I'm also not the fuckface sitting there saying I know more than credentialed scientists. But here's the thing, gang, these fuckfaces don't want to know. William Lane Craig, they hold his ass up like he can do no wrong. Well, he can go fuck himself. He can. He sat there. And again, it shows you how desperate for a win these fuckers are. It's the exact reason on the top 10 reasons why I don't watch football with other people. I hate hearing people say the phrase, what I would have done. Usually, I'm the only person in the room that had any measurable success in the sport of football. Some asshole who's never played the sport sitting there, you know what I would have done? It's like you would have shit on yourself. That's what you would have done. When a 270-pound defensive end with bad intentions written all over his face is barreling down on you, you would have shit on yourself. Stop talking for that fucking quarterback, fuck nuts. But that's like William Lane Craig sitting across the debate stage from Sean Carroll. Sean Carroll fills out his W-2. What do you do? Science, fuckface. Right? I'm the one of these assholes trying to figure out what happened literally half a second before the Big Bang. It's what he gets paid to do. William Lane Craig got up there and did his bullshit kalam. Whatever comes to existence has a cause. And Sean Carroll's like, you couldn't be more wrong if you tried. The problem with what just left your mouth is it's not even wrong. In other words, you're not even in the same discussion. This has got nothing to do with my profession. And you're going to arrogantly sit there and tell me you know more about my job than I do. Go fuck yourself. What, he's got a PhD in philosophy, in theologically bullshit, in apologetics? Again, that's like sitting down to a football player and saying, I know more about the sport than you did. It's like, well, when did you play? Well, I haven't, kitty cake. Don't waste my fucking time. That's what this is like. Matt, if you really got what it takes, get your monkey ass off of fucking YouTube. Go present to the scientific community. Roll the tape.
Molecules. So to assert that life began in the water or in the oceans when it was raining for 2 million years is ludicrous. That's false. Professor?
Pause the tape. What's ludicrous is the Noah's Ark account. 6,000-year-old Earth. Man coming from dirt. Woman coming from man's rib. Shut the fuck up. Roll the tape.
Themselves to be wise, they became fools. The Bible tells us that the
Romans.
Lord God formed man of the dust of the ground and breathed.
Okay, pause it. We are getting dangerously close to pausing the tape, ending the tape. And the Lord God formed man of dust of the ground and breathed life in his nostrils, the breath of life, and man became a living soul. That's not an explanation. That's an excuse. See, an explanation brings an end to the discussion. An excuse makes me ask you, what the fuck did you just say? Here we go. Here we fucking go. Roll the tape.
His nostrils the breath of life, and man became
Well,
a
that
living
explains
soul.
everything.
So life obviously began on the land. And even if you had a single-celled organism that somehow magically was created out of this soupy mess, what's it going to eat? There's no other biology around. There's no other organic material. What's it going to eat? Hard rock.
Again, pause the tape. Pick up an actual science book. Get away from fuckface Kent Hovind. Listen to some actuals. Then listen to some motherfucking factuals. Then come back and redo this fucked up ass video. This is like Ray Comfort, right? I literally heard him say, so atheists believe that a dog came out of the sea, but it was blind, and then, same thing. What did it eat? What did it mate with? There's no comeback to that, because what you are describing is sitting on some bullshit, right? Is the planet Krypton 4 parsecs from Earth, or is it 12 parsecs from Earth? Well, you first have to show me that planet Krypton actually exists. It's like having a debate on whether Superman was right-handed, left-handed, or ambidextrous. He's not touching science at all. And he definitely isn't touching the definition of atheism. Roll the tape. We got to end this.
Think about this.
I already
There's
have.
nothing for it. It just is going to come alive. And then it's got to find another organism to reproduce with. The unanswered questions will remain unanswered by the evolutionist and atheist community on this matter because they're not actually looking at things with a scientific lens.
Pause the tape in the tape. I can't hear that anymore. Go fuck yourself. Seriously. Hey, Robert Reed, you need to tell me what it's like to be Japanese. I'm not Japanese. Well, Japanese people do, blah, 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 so you need to explain that as a Japanese person. I just told you I'm not Japanese. I'm dead serious. Stop asking me about being Japanese. You still haven't talked to me about being Japanese. Nothing he said was standing on business. Gang, Uncle Bobby's only giving you one big motherfucking problem. So as a result, Uncle Bobby's giving you one big motherfucking solution. Matt Powell, shut the fuck up. That was horrible. Horrible. Yeah, Christians, if you could spend one fraction of the time learning how to actually back your claim, you'd be much better off, right? But again, you guys are constantly defining atheism for atheists. How arrogant must you fucking be? You've got a God that cares about you and you only, and only you've got the right answers. What about this entire branch of fuck those motherfuckers? My God said. By the way, this fuckface is about 17,000 fucking followers. That's just a goddamn shame. Matt Powell, Christian apologist, if you guys would ever shut the fuck up long enough to listen to what other people actually have to say, you would not sound so violently unintelligent. Science is science. Atheism is atheism. One does not speak, Donald Trump hands, I'll go fuck yourself. One does not speak to the other. Atheism may ride with science. It may be more likely to get on the bandwagon and listen to what scientists have to say, but it's not a requirement of atheism. I know atheists who are all the way down with tarot cards, who believe in some form of an afterlife, atheists that believe in ghosts and spirits. You don't have to accept evolution. You don't have to accept physics, Big Bang cosmology. The only thing that all we atheists have in common is that when you tell me there's a God, we all say the same thing. I don't believe you. But if you guys actually want to make an actual argument, you'll get off your ass and you'll go get an actual PhD, or at minimum, go listen to a credentialed scientist. Kent Hovind is not a credentialed scientist. He's a fucking moron. But again, I promise you, there's no Nobel Prize in this guy's kitchen, in his trophy case, in his bedroom. He's just another fucking idiot who's so goddamn arrogant that he thinks he knows more about science than the actual scientist. So instead of changing the world, he makes YouTube videos. Gang, let that bullshit sink in. But gang, the big guy's held you long enough. He's signing the fuck off. Gin and Truth, let's go. And I'll never forget that bullshit. Are any of you guys homos?